So today, as we're checking in, we're talking a little bit more about family. We're talking about birth order, and that's something that can really affect our identities and kind of the way that we view the world. So for my family, my nuclear family, we have three people in our family. And a dog, as you can see here, Bandit the dog. My husband, Hank, is the oldest of seven. I am the middle child of three, and Jacob is an only child. He's our only, and he does have half siblings because we adopted Jacob 10 years ago. And so he has biological siblings that are half siblings. And I'll talk a lot more about that later. So when we think about birth order, I think about the differences between the stories that I have and the stories my husband has. He has a lot more stories. So this is actually a picture of my husband and his family. He is the oldest of seven. So he and his six siblings, he was kind of the one in charge a lot of the times because being the oldest, then you often carry a lot of responsibility because you're the firstborn, you can take care of the younger ones. And he often talks about how spoiled his younger siblings were. He doesn't think of himself as ever being spoiled, of course. So that's something that he focuses on a lot. I was the middle child in a family of three girls. I have an older sister, Amy, and a younger sister, Karen. But my older sister is just a year older than I am, and my younger sister, Karen, is 10 years younger. So I was really kind of like the baby of the family. But I have a lot of attributes that people often think of older siblings, like I'm often responsible and organized and that type of thing. And then I think of, this is another part of my family. You see my son, Jacob, here. He's an only child. And these are the cousins that he spends the most time with. Kobe, who is 18 years old, and Kendrick, who is 16 years old. They're brothers. And then this is their little sister, Lily, who is 4 years old. So they have a very interesting family dynamic for lots of ways. That we think about, especially birth order. Kobe is definitely the oldest, the one who is responsible, taking care of things. And Kendrick doesn't act like a middle child very much, as you can see, or as a lot of people think of middle children, the stereotypes of middle children, because he was the youngest for so long. And it was just these two guys for so long. And then Lily came along much later. And so there are lots of interesting family dynamics there. Love, love, love my nephews and my niece and wish that they lived closer so I could spend more time with them. But when they were little, when these guys were as old as she is, they actually lived with me for part of the time. So that's one of the reasons that I feel so close to them. So that's a little bit about my family and my birth order. So think about that as you are considering how has your birth order affected who you are and the way that you see the world. Consider that as we're doing today's activities.